Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has this bizarre routine where every time there's a notable event in relation to Trump's legal troubles, he'll go on Sean Hannity's show on Fox News and meltdown. We've seen particularly notable examples of this, especially after the first indictment. He went on and it seemed he was getting teary-eyed, super emotional, which I love the expression of emotion. But about this, a guy being legally held accountable, a little strange. And in this case, he's a little bit more chilled, but is still saying obviously very irrational things, this time in response to day one of Trump's civil fraud trial in relation to his fraudulent business practices, risking losing everything in terms of his business in the state of New York. And claim one of this lawsuit brought by the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, has already been decided by the judge to be indeed the case. Trump was engaging in fraudulent business practices. So here is Lindsey Graham, very unhappy about it all.
No, it's a systematic effort to destroy Donald Trump as a political person. His crime was he was a good conservative president. I've never seen hatred toward a political figure like I see against President Trump. The left will do anything to ruin his life, to keep him from being president again. And here's the good news. If you're a conservative, it's not working. He can't be in South Carolina today. But let me tell you, the people in South Carolina are watching what's happening to him in New York. And we're not going to let New York get away with this. If you think Mar-a-Lago's worth 18...
How do you stop a judge?
He wins the primary. He gets to be president again. This judge is a joke. Who got defrauded?
Banks and other entities. What does that mean? We're not going to let... South Carolina is not going to let New York, quote unquote, get away with it. Is that a threat, Lindsey? Very bizarre. And let me respond to this part again.
What's important to people watching this show. President Trump can't be in Iowa and South Carolina and New Hampshire. But if you live in these states, you can help him by making sure that liberals do not get away with this.
As if it's liberals exclusively involved in all these different prosecutions. All the different, again, prosecutors, their offices, the judges, the whole process is all liberals. Of course not. Even very notably, a Trump-appointed judge is overseeing one of the Trump cases, the classified documents case. And it is way easier to make this dishonest case for why Trump is being wronged if you can simplify it down to it's all liberals. Jack Smith is not of a particular political party. And that contradicts this idea. And then once you get rid of that as an argument, it's really even harder to defend Donald Trump. If you can't make it a liberals versus conservatives, a Democrats going after Republicans, which of course it's not. It's the law versus Trump. That's it. It's not liberals versus Trump. It's not Biden versus Trump. It's the law contradicting with the actions of Trump, and thus he should be held accountable for that. And we'll see, he'll have his day in court. Maybe he can prove himself innocent, but that's what we're watching play out here. And this could be uncontroversial. We could all respect, as they used to say they did, law and order more than, and the rule of law more than one particular person that we've decided to be our cult leader in the case of much of the Republican Party. By the way, as a part of this same night, Sean Hannity said this.
Now, how would you feel if a prosecutor started combing through every aspect of your life in search of a crime and then dragging your children into it simply because they don't like you, they don't like your politics?
And of course, there's no evidence that that is taking place here. There is a lot of evidence that Donald Trump potentially committed crimes, or in the case of this civil trial, engaged in fraudulent business practices. But it's funny that he would complain about endless investigations into every aspect of the lives of political figures for political reasons, including their children, when he roots on and covers that entire process that House Republicans are doing to Joe Biden. To the point where the son of Joe Biden is having, without his consent, his nudes shown on national television by Marjorie Taylor Greene during a hearing, because they're that obsessed with trying to dig up dirt on the Bidens and try to portray Biden as in the wrong based on their obsession with Hunter Biden. Funny that he would point that out. You're right. That can go wrong real quick, as we're seeing with the GOP right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.